Hello everyone, this is a toperscopy discussion. Okay, so here we will be discussing certain toppers who have written certain answers in the coaching institute. So this copy belongs to Hemant Kumar Sahu, who has secured all India rank 722 in the year of 2023 in UPSC Civil Services examination. So this copy will be discussing about the geography. So before starting the discussion, before looking at the copy, we need to see that yes, there are in the mains answer writing, there are certain questions being provided by the UPSC examination, or we can say that these questions, they have critical dimensions which are needed to be highlighted or addressed. So to see this, to highlight or to address such issues or the question, the demand of the question, we need to have a proper introduction, proper body, proper conclusion, and this has to be in a quite structured manner. Okay, structuring of the answers is very much important. The inclusion of diagrams wherever it is necessary, it has to be done. Then the language of the answer, it has to be quite easy to understand. It must be readable, and it should be connecting, the connection of the answer should be quite simple. Okay, for example, from introduction to body, it should be easy to understand. From body to conclusion, it should be easy to understand. So these are the basic requirements of the answer writing, where the need of the concepts, the need of the examples, recent datas, it is quite important, along with the diagrams or the flow charts or certain maps wherever it is required. So let's start the discussion. The question here is with respect to explain the factors that influence the speed and direction of the wind. Also discuss how wind determines weather and climate. A quite simple question this is. This question belongs to the climatology part in the geography section, a part of the physical geography. So here the question is quite simple. It is asking, it is demanding the factors that influence the speed and direction of the wind. Okay, there are certain factors which influence the direction and the speed of the winds. Also discuss how wind determines weather and climate. For example, we can see that wherever there is cold winds are flowing, okay, the region it is experiencing the desert part, but the winds where it consists of moisture, high moisture content is there the rainfall is quite high and the lush green vegetation is present. So this can be seen in the geographical part in different regions of the world. So moving forward with respect to the introduction which is being provided by Hemant. So winds are the advectional movement of air created on the surface due to pressure gradient, that is the difference from one region to another region. It is quite, we can say, a remarkable introduction is given here. A diagram is also being provided with respect to how the pressure gradient force and the Coriolis force, it is being balanced, resulting into the formation of winds. So this wind, it is also called as the geostrophic winds. Okay, geostrophic winds, which is the free movement of wind is seen here. Okay, so here the ISO bars are also provided, different ISO bars where the wind is moving. So we can see here the introduction is quite well with the diagram. Now factors influencing the wind speed and direction. So here pressure gradient force, it is one of the important force, is being written down here, and it has been started with, which is one of the factor which influences the wind speed. Then there is centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is one of the forces which is produced because of the rotation of the earth, and it is determining the direction of the wind. For example, in the northern hemisphere it moves in the clockwise direction, and in the southern hemisphere it moves in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is also being provided here. Along with the pressure gradient force, it determines it influences the speed of the wind, speed and direction of the wind. Then difference in the land and sea water. Land and sea water, it is also being highlighted here. So land and sea water, it results into the formation of pressure gradient. So it is also one of the factor which results into the we can say, which influences the wind and speed and direction of the winds. Now in the next part we can see the high specific heat, the heat of the ocean water, and the hotter and creation of land and sea breeze is being seen here. So land and sea breeze is also being seen, which is provided here, formed, which is influencing the wind speed and direction. Then there is another factor, that is local topographical variations. It is quite important because as there are certain mountains, so during the daytime there is we can see there is rise of the wind, but during the night time the wind moves in the opposite direction. So this is also being this also influences the speed and direction of the winds. So like continental effects, the mountain and sea effects also leads to the flow of adiabatic and anabatic winds, katabatic and anabatic winds. Now next step here is, okay, now as we can see here, the evaluator, he has also provided certain extra things which can be added here. For example, the air pressure, the temperature, which the centripetal acceleration, the frictional force, the relief features, okay, and the Earth's rotation, which can also be added here, which influences the wind speed and direction. Now next is wind shaping weather and climate. How the winds, they shape the weather and climate of the region. So first is the global winds, like the trade winds, the westerlies, etc. They shape the flowing of the ocean currents. Okay, it is quite true, it is associated with the ocean currents and carries warm and cold atmospheric conditions, thus shaping the climatic variations of region it is visiting. For example, the desert effect, it is offshore trade winds, which is also dry. Then the tropical marine climate, shifting of trade winds and the westerlies, rainfall all the year. So this is moist air. Okay, this is the moist winds. So here we can see that this comment is also being provided by the evaluator, who has provided for the for making answer more better. So next is the local winds, like the Mistral, Bora, Sirocco, which shape the local climatic conditions. For example, the Mediterranean effect. Okay, this is also true. Then land and sea breezes, which causes the diurnal temperature changes and flow of the daily air. This is also being provided here. Now, as we see the next part, which is the monsoon winds. Monsoon winds are the different kind of winds. They have a reversal, okay, reversal or complete reversal of the winds. So southwest monsoon winds emanating from southern hemisphere and around Australia, which crosses equator and gives rainfall over South and Southeast Asia. This is also being quite it is quite well written here. Now as we see conclusion, the winds thus play a vital role in changing the direction or the climatic conditions, that is precipitation, humidity, temperature, etc., which has various socio-economic influences. Example, dependency of monsoon in Indian agriculture. So this is quite it is related in a good manner. So it is also been provided a well concluded part here. Okay, so we can see the question from where it is asking and from where it is affecting. So with the examples, Hemant has provided a good answer in this part here. Moving to the next question. The question is being asked about, most scientists agree that the climate change is making events driven by the jet stream worse. Explaining the phenomena of jet stream, discuss how climate change affects the jet stream. Now here we have two important aspects here. First thing is, the climate change is making events drier by the jet stream worse. Okay, so here we need to talk about the jet stream and what is the impact of climate change on it. Now the second part is explaining the phenomena of jet stream. We need to explain the phenomena of jet stream and discuss how climate change affects the jet stream. The impact of the climate change on the jet stream is also needed to be discussed. Okay, so we can say the demand of the question is quite we can say simple, but the question is not quite easy to answer because it requires certain concepts of jet stream, then what climate change is, how the climate change is impacting jet stream, how the jet stream are linked to the climate change, how there are variation in the westerly winds, okay, which are present in the upper troposphere. So these things have to be discussed here to make this answer quite relevant and also in a better flow. So introduction, we can say here, introduction is, climate change is the new reality and has a wide many implication in different fields. Jet streams are shaped by the climate change events. For example, excessive meandering, okay, quite good it is written. Irregular weakening and strengthening of the jet stream is also being seen because of the jet stream, because of the climate change. So this thing is quite we can say this information is quite important, quite relevant, and it is written in the introduction. So with the introduction, a diagram is also being given. So we can say this is the northern hemisphere. Okay, so here we have the presence of two important jet streams, that is subtropical jet stream, and this one is basically polar jet stream. Okay, this one is polar jet stream, and how these jet streams they meander, it is also being provided here. So the diagram here, it is quite well labeled. Okay, and diagrams, it we can say it the meandering of this jet stream, it is also being shown in the diagram. Now this is the introduction. Now we need to see what are the jet streams first. So jet stream is a sinus upper air circulation caused due to the stark pressure gradient along horse latitude due to convergence of hot and cold air masses. Okay, so this is the convergence of the air masses, the meeting of the two air masses at the upper atmosphere or the upper level of the troposphere. It is being highlighted here. Now it generally flows from west to east because it is westerlies in nature. However, easterly jet streams are also flows along the Indian subcontinent, shaping Indian monsoon. So this is a local jet stream. Okay, this is a global jet stream which we are talking about, and this easterly jet stream, it is a local jet stream which is developed because of certain conditions during the monsoon period. So this is also highlighted in a quite good manner. Now the climate change and shaping of the jet stream. Now climate change, what it does, it provides more we can say more energy to the jet stream. Okay, first thing. Second thing, the climate change, it is also resulting into the higher cooling of the polar regions. So these two conditions, they are making jet streams intense. Sometimes it is making these jet streams weaker also, because the pressure gradient, okay, the pressure gradient between the two regions, for example, if this is Ferrel cell and this is polar cell. So when the pressure gradient it changes, it results into the weakening or strengthening of the jet stream. So here we can see this jet stream, it is getting meandered. It is getting meandered because of the climate change. So this is provided here. Now the polar vortex is a phenomena which along northern USA and Siberia, it is flow of jet streams introduced weather pattern in the winter months, which results in the snowfall. So this is a direct explanation is being provided. So here the inclusion of the phenomena should also be taken up. For example, how the jet streams they get affected because of the climate change, the change in temperature, the change in the pressure gradient, the change in the moisture content, it can also be added. Okay, the change in the air mass conditions. So this should be added here. Now however, with the changing climatic conditions and Arctic amplification, the meandering of jet stream widens, thus extending snowfall and cold climates or cold winds even in the southern states of the USA. So this is a condition is being provided. As we can see, the examiner has seen all this point, and it has the examiner has said that the inclusion of heat wave and cold wave, the shift in the local weather pattern, then the intensified summer and winter conditions should also be included here. Then next point is the climate change events intensifies the jet streams, thus promoting erratic weather behavior. For example, the bomb cyclone in the USA, which also had the influence of the jet stream, resulting in the formation of the low pressure system, which actually occurred because of the presence of the jet stream. Now next is the polar jet stream depleting ozone layer. Now this is one of the condition which is happening because of the presence of the jet stream. Now what jet streams does, it results in the flow of air from the troposphere, okay, troposphere to stratosphere. The changing climatic events and increase of the greenhouse gases, for example CO, CH4, CFCs, CBCs, etc., causes depletion of ozone layer in the stratosphere. So this basically happens because of the presence of the polar jet streams. Okay, the polar vortex is formed, and because of the polar vortex, actually this happens in the winter season. In the winter season, the cold climatic condition, it becomes quite intense because of the intensification of the climatic condition, the weather condition. In those particular ranges, the high pressure system is formed to a certain extent that it results into the formation of a barrier kind of condition, where the increase of these gases, or the concentration of these gases, it increases, and for that duration of time we see that as these gases during the summer season, it starts interacting with the temperate region or the subtropical region, it results into the creation of ozone hole, which is also being provided here. Now, concerted and collaborative climate change mitigation strategies are needed by all nations currently. For example, through multilateral institutions for successful prevention and we can say for tackling the jet stream induced disasters is needed. So here we can see that the characteristics of jet streams can also be included here, and the conclusion, it is given a good conclusion is been provided here. So we can see that what are the jet streams, what are the basic concepts with respect to jet stream, what are the impact of jet stream on the local weather condition, what is the impact of climate change on the jet streams, it is also being discussed quite well. Okay, so we can see that this question is quite well structured, the diagrams are quite highly included, and the impacts and the demand of the question, it is quite highly covered. So we can see the marks which is being fetched by Hemant, it is also. So guys, we will be concluding this session of toppers copy discussion. Thank you very much.